I hear if there's one way to go, drowning is actually a peaceful way.
Sure.
After the struggle.
Who do you ask? How peaceful was it when you drowned to death? Somebody who was brought back from drowning? I don't know. Maybe.
Well, when you were kicking and fighting for air.
Right. I literally, I kicked the door so hard, the door frame bent. And as soon as I started to see light coming into the door, I'm like, eventually the glass is going to shatter because it's going to get tweaked, right?
Yeah.
So I just kept kicking, 3 more kicks, it shattered. And then it sunk fast because the air had somewhere to go.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But until that point, I was like, fuck, man. I'm like, I guess I'm done. And then I lay there and I look, it's still just on the floorboard. I'm like, fuck, I can give up now. What am I doing? An hour later, I'm still like, I'm just so tired.
Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
And it's fucking Sunday
Afternoon.
It is Sunday afternoon.
Not Sunday morning.
I was planning to do a night potty with Tom. Me and Tom were going to do night potties.
That'd be a good offshoot podcast name, Night Potty.
Night potty.
Where we teach you how to teach your child how to use the bathroom before they go to sleep.
Night potty.
Are you tired?
Or you have a speech impediment and you're trying to say party.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go night potty.
Hey, I got a night potty I got to go to. Or is it just Bostonians?
Maybe.
I got a night potty I got to go to.
It's funny you just talk about Boston. I was just on YouTube or Facebook or something, and I just seen the whole trailer, but I seen that Matt Damon has a show called The Investigators, I think it's called.
I saw the advertisement for that.
I think it's on Apple.
Yes, I think you're right. Which I just found out we still have Apple. I thought we canceled it, but we didn't. So we've been paying for it for months without watching it.
How many of people out there have stuff that they are paying, but they're
lots of people. Shit. But it's worth keeping. It's not that expensive yet. And we like the show Severance. I don't know if you've ever... I
haven't seen it, but that's one of my shows that I
think Adam Scott, isn't that the guy's name?
He was in I think he was in those Hunger Games shows. Or was it the other guy? Right.
Adam Scott is the brother and stepbrother.
Yeah. I always get him confused with on Yellowstone there's a brother, Jamie, that they look alike to me.
Oh, okay.
I should look that up.
Who's that gal? She's a comedian, and she looks an awful lot like him, I think.
There's a comedian that looks like Adam Scott? There's a comedian
gal. I can't think of her name, but she's kind of like a dry comic. And she jokes about people thinking she's a boy and stuff, I think.
I don't know. I bet you if I've seen her.
You've probably seen her, but she reminds me a lot of him. They could actually play siblings or something if they haven't yet.
Wes Bentley.
He's got kind of a similar look.
Yeah, he's a handsome fella, I feel like.
Sure, devilishly handsome.
He looks evil, but
he's got a little
he got that
bad
little
boy in him.
I don't know. There's something about him. I'm not I'm a heterosexual male. Is that the term? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm a homosexual male.
I like to blow a guy like anybody else.
Every now and then. But no, he's a good actor though. Yeah. But he reminds me of Adam Scott too.
Yeah. Adam Scott, he was in that movie. It was
maybe they
Christmas movie. Well, not a whole lot, but I mean they got faces and hair.
You said he was in a Christmas movie?
Yeah, he was in Krampus. You ever see the movie Krampus?
Oh no,
I actually love it.
I know what movie you're talking about.
It's a dumb movie, but I love it. It's got the guy that was in he was the Anchorman. He was the sportscaster guy.
Yeah.
He's in it as the asshole brother-in-law. It's good.
Is that her? Adrian Mirren?
No, but I definitely see the
There
connection.
is a really good resemblance.
Yeah, there is actually. No, this gal.
It's blurry for those folks, but they look alike. No, Krampus. I never watched Krampus. I don't think
it's a
cartoon or no?
No, live action.
It's a real movie.
It's real. It's real.
I know. We were gonna actually do a night podcast though.
We were because it's been a long time, and it was pretty fun back in the day. Maybe someday we'll switch it back to Friday nights.
I don't know. Every now and then.
We'll see.
I like Sunday mornings.
Yeah, it's not bad.
We didn't do it this morning. One reason was like I was going to do the night podcast, and then also, my daughter was here with her boyfriend, and yeah, they were just sleeping here, and she asked, "Are we doing the podcast?" I was like, "Actually, no, we're going to do it tonight." And then Blanca texted our group chat. I sent a video of like something Ryan Reynolds was interviewing.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Tig Notaro. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they're not that similar.
I see it though.
But
That's his mom for sure.
yeah.
You kind of look like your mother.
Cousins, maybe. I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Oh no, but I just sent something into our group chat. It was like Ryan Reynolds was interviewing the star of his wife's new movie.
Oh, okay.
It Ends With Us.
The guy that she was with?
Yeah, in that movie.
Oh.
And then Ryan Reynolds.
Sex scene?
Ryan Reynolds was interviewing him, and it was just a funny clip. And so I sent that to the group, and then Blanca mentioned that she watched it. I think she said it was a good
She
movie.
went with her mom.
Oh, I thought you guys went.
No, she didn't even ask me. She took her mom.
Oh, so I was just
all
like, oh, Alicia's read those books, like by Colleen some Devereaux. I don't know what her name is.
No
Colleen
idea.
Hoover or some shit like that.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. And then I was like, oh, hey babe, let's go watch this movie. 7:30 good? She's like, yeah, all right. And I go, there's still 2 seats. And then obviously and then late, like I want to say we're walking around, and she goes, are you and Tom still doing the podcast? I'm like, what? Oh, we're doing the night podcast. I'm so stupid.
That's all right.
And then you had talks probably,
open.
you had text a few hours later asking,
Yeah. I actually do prefer the Talksting app.
The
if you've
Talks.
ever heard of it.
the talky talk.
Yeah.
I guess there was an app that it's called Live 360 that got hacked, and it was like targeting a lot of people.
That sounds really familiar with that app.
It
Live
can track
360.
where you're at. Like basically, if you have it.
Oh, I have friends at work that have that for their family, so they can
Yeah.
know where their family members are.
That app got hacked, and so like
so Rand now knows where everybody is.
I want to say it was like 500,000 users or something. Information's out there, so people get like they get hacked. They get spam calls or whatever.
Yeah.
There was this unfortunate situation that I'll talk about just because it's good to talk about at my wife's work, where this lady she came across this. She got a call, and these people were saying, "Give us $1,000. We have your daughter."
Right.
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 And she ends up giving them the money. Mm-hmm. Mind you, she never checked at this moment. I don't think
Hadn't
about
called her daughter to go.
No.
Like, are you okay?
Well, no. And then they called back and said, or I think anyway, they gave her $1,000, or she gave them $1,000. They called her again saying, "Hey, we have your daughter. We want more money now. We want $5,000." And they actually had someone play her daughter.
I have
right?
a question of the week. How many thousands would it be before you go, keep him?
3. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
1,000.
but then she's like freaking out because now she hears this lady say, "Mom, give me my money."
Yep.
But
I've heard that story or, a similar type case.
and so everyone at where my wife works is trying to calm her down, like, "Hey, like, we're trying to get your daughter's trying to call you right now," and then she's in that panic
So this
state
is
of
real
mind.
life.
This
at
has really
your wife's
happened.
Work. This
Yeah.
local lady.
Yeah, this happened, and they call her daughter, and the daughter's like, she's not believing it.
Yeah.
Right. She thinks her daughter's kidnapped and like all this stuff. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And so the daughter ended up having to come to my wife's work. And then obviously when she's seen her daughter, she's like, oh my God.
Oh, thank God. How
But,
many thousands did you send away, Mom?
Well, she only did the 1,000. Luckily, she didn't do the other. She didn't clear her bank account.
Yeah.
But the thing that's sad is that there's people out there that are like,
That are willing to do that.
that are just like
Well,
evil.
I've heard that. I even heard that AI was used once like that. Somehow they got the person's voice and enough contact information that once they had that, they used AI to make the person able to speak. So
That's
then
crazy.
The daughter was like, "They have me kidnapped, blah, blah, blah." And it was like her real voice. And so the mom was really believing it. And then somehow, some way, I think she got in touch with her actual daughter.
Yeah, well,
before she sent any money. But,
well, this lady, she was, you know, a Hispanic gal. I don't think she was like, she wasn't. I don't think naturally from here. Naturally, I don't know if that.
She wasn't naturally here. She was like symbiotically. You know, she was a
she's from Mexico.
Sure.
So she didn't speak English very well. And so it's just a shame that there's people that are that evil that are like, you know, do that. But it's also like kind of, I just had questions myself, like, why don't you just call your kids?
I think there's a lot of, especially with older people, I don't think they're as prepared for it.
They're just like, it's happened.
Yeah, they don't understand technology well enough to get triggered. Like the thing with me now, though, is it's getting scary because up until very recently, it wasn't sophisticated enough to easily get caught in something. But the way it is now, I mean, it's like rapidly, it seems like it's gotten to the point where you could easily get, you know, just caught in something. So I don't respond to anything anymore.
So my mom, she had called me. Shout out to my mom, by the way. She's a big, she listens to us quite often.
have seen the amount of information she provides for us to answer, fill in all those little gaps that your memories have.
Well, she had called me, and then she was talking about, because I did the DNA reveal last week.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to that podcast, do so. And she was just like telling me about my great grandpa was, you know, she didn't say it this way, but he's basically a hoe. He was out running the seven seas like a pirate, you know, banging other chicks and everything.
Like literally, he was like on a ship going.
I don't know if he was, but he traveled around.
He was in the seven,
and that's probably why I have the 1% Senegal and the 1% everything else in the whole world.
There you go.
But my mom actually, when we were talking, this U.S. bank tried to get a hold of my uncle saying, we're trying to sue my mom, right?
Okay.
My uncle, being an older dude, and my uncle's pretty smart, but like you said, technology, older people, they kind of don't understand some things. And it's easy to get manipulated and things to sound legit. But he, you know, passed the information along, whatever. They called my mom, and they're like trying to sue my mom, like, hey, we're gonna sue you.
Yeah,
you owe us money from, you know, the year 2000 or whatever. And she, you know, my mom luckily isn't in. She's not stupid. So she's like, what? Like, no, that's not right. I never banked with you guys. Like, what are you talking about? Like, whatever. So and I was telling my mom, like, you know, I was like, well, that's spam, really. I was like, give me their number. I was like, I have this program that I had called Ben Verified. You can look up phone numbers and all this stuff. Looked it up. I'm like, nah, it's a spam number. It's a spam number.
Yeah.
Something I always tell Alicia, because she gets spam calls. I get them, but I always answer them because I like to fuck with them.
Sure.
That's probably one of the funnest things to do.
It is fun. I don't usually do it. I
answer the phone like you're a business of some made up name. Like I always will make up some like, this is Shorty Strip Club. How can I help you?
Right.
And then they'll pause for a minute. Like, huh? I was like, who is this? I was like, Shorty Strip Club. What can I help you with? And they're like, click. They're like, sorry.
Casey's Body Disposal. How can I help you?
Yeah. So I was telling Alicia, I was like, man, when you get spam calls, let me hear them. Because I hope I get one of these calls saying, we got your kid or something. Because I want to be like, you do? Which one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, man.
Because I see 5 of them right here. You sure you got the right number?
I pray to God it's Tito, because that son of a bitch has been driving me crazy all weekend.
You can keep him.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you money to keep his ass, all right?
Yeah. But like, so that website I have, though, it's easy. It's so easy to get information of people. You just get a name and you get a relevant, you know, oh, you're 48. I know you've lived in Las Vegas, or I know you've lived here. Okay, I can narrow that down. I know your name. I know your last name. Then you can narrow that down, and you can actually like, oh, you've been arrested 4 times for this.
Wow.
You can like do background checks.
It syncs up all the different.
You can see all that shit. You know, it's so easy.
Scary stuff.
Back before you and Blanca actually got married, and when me and her were split, and she was dating this guy that me and you equally dislike.
Yes, I've heard the stories.
Her mom came to me and was like, "Hey,
yeah,
can we check something out?" I'm like, "All right." So I did a background check, and sure enough, he was like
Garbage.
piece of shit.
He's a garbage person.
He's a
yes.
piece of shit. And
I've heard the tales.
but it was that easy. You know what I mean? It was that easy to find the information about this person,
Right.
And just be like, oh well, here you go. Spousal abuse. Oh, okay, here you go. I don't think it was spousal. There was some kind of like abuse thing.
Sure,
though.
domestic violence. Yeah. That wouldn't be surprised by the
you're
stories I heard.
a piece of shit.
Yeah. Garbage person.
God, I remember playing softball against that guy, and yeah, I caught his ball.
Nice.
Like, not a big deal, I guess. But I caught you out, bitch.
That's good. Hey, at least we know. At least we know. Yeah.
But yeah, no, information. Just be careful out there. Make sure you guys have a strong password. This is coming from IT, so make sure you got a strong password. Make sure it's not something easy like your birthday, your kids' names, anything like that. Just always have like a number, some maybe little digits in that thing, caps, because it's easy. Even the password I used to use that I felt like was actually very secure, that came up into a breach. Like, hey, like when I enter it now, this was in a breach.
It'll actually let you know
there's certain sites, there's certain places that will let you know, like, hey, this was a breached number. I'm like, oh fuck, all right, let me change it up. Same password, but different something.
I can't forget it.
Password 123, comma.
Yeah, I think if we just started executing people that committed those types of crimes, then we wouldn't have to worry so much. Because, like, why should I have to memorize all this stuff over and over again and change things, right? Like, why am I paying for it?
I don't know. People are just fucking...
Just kill those guys and then we don't have to worry about it. Now, I love it. There's people online who are very smart who use VPNs and they'll hack the hackers. So those videos are great. There's a guy that... he'll keep them busy by acting dumb. And in order for them to get access to your computer, it also gives you access to theirs. And he uses a VPN. I would never try this because I would screw it up. But he knows what he's doing. So he'll give them access to a VPN while they're busy with that. He goes into their files and deletes everything. And he keeps them busy for like 5 minutes so everything will delete. And then when it gets to the point that basically nothing works on their computer... Then he's like, actually, I have your files. So, yeah. And it's, usually like guys in India or something. So he'll say their name and what building they're in.
So, Peter.
And all these things like, hey, would you tell like Samuel behind you that something or other? One time he goes, yeah, that was interesting. That movie you guys were watching last night. And he gave the name of the movie. And they're like, oh, and you hear them like yelling at each other. And then they hang up. It's pretty good.
I'm not going to lie. That's one thing I wish I could do is be like a hacker. That is,
but for good. Hack the.
Well, they call it white hat hacking. There's black hat and there's like a red hat, or it's like black and white kind of thing.
Okay.
So one's like a good hacker. They do things for the better. They do things. It's good. Like those are the people that end up getting like hired by the CIA.
Or CIA. Yeah.
Well, a lot of those hackers that are like really good and they do bad stuff end up getting hired by the CIA.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Fuck, dude.
There's
this hacker group, and I don't know how, I haven't watched a lot of stuff on them in a long time, but they were called Anonymous.
Yep, I remember them.
Big hacker group. And they're so good that they hacked the FBI during a call about them.
Jeez.
And they released it online. And so you're hearing the FBI talk about this hacker group Anonymous who just happens to hack into this fucking phone call. It was pretty cool.
There's this isn't quite hacking, but there's a gal online that she'll call like the Microsoft number or whatever. That's the phony Microsoft number. Oh yeah. And she's a voice actress. So she'll play like an automated telephone service. And it's very funny. First of all, she's absolutely hideous.
Of course,
she's not cute at all.
Billy's Blueberries.
And but she sounds exactly like an automated telephone service. So she'll basically call them as the actual Microsoft corporation.
Hello, you've reached.
And yeah, I mean, she does the numbers right and everything. Like, you have been like, like. Something like, you are suspected of this. 911 has been called. If this is incorrect, please hit 2. And then you'll hear them beep.
You've pressed 2.
It's funny. I mean, she gets them around in circles, and then they usually hang up. It's pretty good. Anything that screws with those assholes is wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just befitting of them.
That just I know it kind of like annoyed me that they did that to that lady though.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
It's just a dirtbag thing to do.
Well, you don't get that money back.
And, well, that and there's nothing wrong with police. I love police, and I get it, but the cops were called and stuff, and obviously they do what they do.
They file a report, but
they didn't even do that. They're like, well, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah,
sorry. That's just like when we called the cops on my piece of shit neighbor. There's nothing we can do.
I'm guessing they must have turned it over to CPS
they didn't do
to
shit,
investigate.
dude.
That's
Nothing.
what I'm thinking. Though.
No, the kid's outside. Everything's outside.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm thinking that they're eventually going to send CPS in. I don't know. I did what I had to do.
You know what? What? The half of me that's not Caucasian is saying that since they are Caucasian, that it's nothing's going to be done with it.
Gotcha.
That's just me being on that side of the fence.
Well, on the other side of the fence, they
I love
should
the
be no matter what.
Yeah. No, they should.
Well, for one thing, this guy's running for county commissioner.
Yeah.
I don't know. How much do you want me to say about this guy?
I don't care. It's on the news. It's nothing you can do about that, right?
I just got to say, look, he's a public official. He wants to be at least. He left guns out.
Yeah, there was an unfortunate situation happened.
A very unfortunate situation that cost a child their life.
Yeah,
seemed very unapologetic about it. After that fact, is now running for a county position, and then beats the shit out of his son enough that the kid was limp.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
And then I didn't see it, but that's how it was reported.
My wife saw it,
so that's how
my nephew's seen it. My niece and nephews. So JC, my nephew.
Yeah.
This dude's the sweetest kid on earth. He's like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
He saw this happen, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then my other nephew Eli, who's been on our podcast a couple times, he saw that happen, and it's like, what the hell? I wish I would have. Sometimes I wish I would have seen that. I would have wanted to run over there and stab him with this pencil.
But you wouldn't have because you're a good guy.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, just like, just so typical of a lot of the assholes running these days, just psycho people that have no business in that kind of position. He's not going to win anyway. He's going against somebody who's already on the commission.
So I'm glad you brought up the commissioner thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I saw a commissioner. I don't know if this is a county commissioner, like a fire chief commissioner or something. But his name's Bush. His last name's Bush.
Barry Bush.
Yeah,
he's a commissioner, county commissioner.
So is he a Bush? Is he like a distant cousin of the Bushes?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
But like this is Jeb Bush's third cousin.
Does he sound like this?
Maybe.
Listen, all I know is at Iraq, we're gonna go in there.
And we're going to destroy it.
Yeah, I kind of miss old George W.
Right. He seems like such a character.
Let's go have a beer and eat some pretzels. You remember when he ate a pretzel and passed out?
No.
Allegedly. I think he was drinking.
That motherfucker was drunk.
But yeah, Laura. He's a good guy.
Come get me.
Come on. Let's play hide and seek. The kids are gone.
But anyway. But no, yeah. I don't know. The neighbor, he's a piece of shit. That's just me. And I can't even say I'm drunk because I've drank a little bit, which is weird because I kind of feel it right now.
Well, hey, if you haven't had a lot to drink in a very long time, I mean,
I just,
yeah,
it's nice though to just keep it going.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like all things in life, it's all within reasonable limits. You gotta enjoy things in life without overindulging, right?
For sure.
Alcoholism.
I feel like
is
it'll
a problem.
Knock out how I've been feeling the last couple days.
How you been feeling the last couple days?
Been feeling all right.
Been feeling pretty good.
I was under the weather.
Oh yes.
But it's weird because I got the Rona, right? Mm-hmm.
My Corona. yes. You got it from me, I believe.
Yeah, I did. I
had
think
it.
I'll just say.
So, okay, I was looking forward to this trip all summer long. I was going to go to Spokane, work trip. Never gone on a work trip before. You know, teaching. We don't get to do that a lot. I was going to go to this little conference. Got sick the weekend before I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
And tested positive. Didn't feel great. I was hoping that my symptoms would go away enough where I could like sit in the room with a ton of other people and feel okay about it. And like the morning where I really had to make the call, I started like hacking up a lung. I was like, God, because I never felt horrible.
Yeah,
That's the annoying thing with it. It's like nothing ever felt like sick. It was just gross.
Yes.
And disturbing. And, you know, annoyingly painful, like a dull, annoying headache and a lot of like head pressure.
That's
one of the most annoying diseases I've ever experienced in my life.
So mine was like, so basically our last podcast that we had, he had the Rona.
Right.
I didn't give a fuck. And I still don't. It doesn't bug me. I knew the risk I was taking, right? I ended up taking it because my throat felt weird.
So yeah, right.
So Wednesday I had a softball, right? I had a softball game, and I swear that I think it was Tuesday night or something. I took a test because I was looking for. Oh no, it was Tuesday afternoon because I was looking for the title to my Volkswagen to
and happened to come across a COVID test.
I did.
Yeah,
Two old ones, right?
Yeah.
So I took it. It was fine because I could kind of feel my throat weird, and I was like,
yeah,
let me just take it.
Yeah.
I did the Tom thing. Let me just take it.
Oh, why not?
I was like, oh, I'm good. And I'm like, whatever. Didn't think of it. Wednesday comes around, and I feel weird, but I don't feel like weird. I'm okay, whatever. I go to softball, and then I go out in the outfield. I catch my first ball of the game. It was like the second play. I almost felt like I almost blew my Achilles out, by the way.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
I come back, but then my throat's just feeling weird, and I just felt weird that day.
Yeah.
I get home, and I think it was that night I took, like after I showered, I took that test, and I look and positive. I was like, son of a... I go, babe, I got the Corona.
Yep.
And then Thursday I work from home, so I'm like doing a few things, taking care of things, but I got like that head fog. I just don't feel good. Like I feel fine where I can do things.
Yes.
I don't feel where I'm like, ugh.
It's a weird feeling to describe. Yeah. It's
just a weird feeling. It's just uncomfortable. It's just annoying. That for me, that's what it was. I didn't have the I didn't have the bad stuff that people, died from, obviously.
Right. Where you can't breathe or you're vomiting your guts out. Yeah.
So like I call, I do a few things, finish a few things at work, and I just let my boss know, hey, and I hate calling in. Mm-hmm. And it's not that my boss, I don't know what it is. I don't ever feel comfortable calling in. Yeah. Right. I hate it. I feel like
it feels like a cop out in a way, right?
Yeah. Because I look at it like he's looking at it like, okay, whatever. Oh, you're sick.
Right.
Or, that shit, right. And I don't like that. And that's more me than probably them. That's the more reflection of how I feel about that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I call in, and then I kind of just chill out for that day. Mm. And then the next day, I kind of felt a little worse, so I called in again. Luckily, I didn't go to the gym. I signed up for our class, and I was like second in line, so I still didn't make it in. But I was like not gonna go because I was like, nah, there's people there. I don't want. It wouldn't.
It'd be very funny to huff and puff all over people.
It wouldn't be fair to them. Hey, yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. But like, I'm the type that I can't rest because I feel like it makes me feel worse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mowed the lawn.
I kind of struggle with that too. I
did things
I was doing like yard work and shit, and trying to thinking I could sweat it out.
Yeah. Well, that was my goal.
I finally did test negative this morning. Finally.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I haven't tested because I don't have one. And then I
bought some extras because all of our tests were
borrow
old and
one.
bad. So
Come to find out, I never
I
had
had
it.
to laugh because so we had 2 tests from the old government sent out tests, right?
That's what I used.
So I had 2 of those. I took one, it was positive. I'm like, well, but I mean, who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe the test just does that. So I took the other one, it was positive. I'm like, still though, I mean, they're like old tests. What if they just show positive when they're not good anymore?
It's the
So I was
government.
gonna go to the doctor. The doctors, they weren't taking patients. I was like, all right, that's actually okay because I don't really want to pay for a doctor visit.
Yeah.
So I went to the store and just bought.
Please tell me it was a
another
dollar
test.
store.
I wish. If,
That would've
if
been
the
so
dollar
sick.
store sold those tests, I would buy them from the dollar store because they're not cheap. But I bought a double pack.
Yeah. That's what
Right. And so I go home, take it. I mean, it was like instant. I'm looking, it's like, yep, you're positive. I'm like, I don't think there's any way I can say I'm not positive
No.
for COVID. And I've never been positive before. I felt way sicker before and it not been COVID.
So I won't lie. I've had, I don't get sick often. And then I've had sicknesses that were worse. than
Yeah,
this,
right.
Obviously. But this one was just like an annoyance.
It's weird. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
different than any kind of feeling I've had before. It was a lot of just pressure right here.
Yep.
And like a headache, mild enough that it wasn't like debilitating, but like
Annoying.
very annoying.
I hate headaches.
It was hard to really focus. It was hard to like stay, I don't know, like if I had to think really hard or do something really like
Yeah.
tough, I probably wouldn't have done very well
Like,
during that time.
I guess I could have forced myself to work,
Yeah.
but I just know it was that same thing. It
Yeah.
was just like, ugh.
Well,
You know,
then
I'm
it was like
struggling with
the
shit.
feeling of like, because I felt bad because I'm thinking like, all right, I committed to going on this trip, so there's a hotel room, there's like whatever the fee was for
Mm-hmm.
the thing. So I was trying to stick it out, and it was like I don't know if yours was this way too, but it would ebb and flow. Like I'd wake
yeah.
up, feel fine, and then all of a sudden it was like it would hit again, and I'd just be like really
Mm-hmm.
tired or like just draining everything.
Yeah.
Or super stuffy. And then that morning before I woke up and I was like just coughing a lot. And I'm like, this is so, I don't want to be sitting there like surrounded by people and just like hacking all over the place. Just that gross, like, so I felt bad, but
No, I get it. Though. That's
cool
how.
about
That's kind of how I felt. Like it was just.
I think
There's-
somebody took my spot, so I don't think I wasted.
There's things I could have done, but I just. I get not that I could have done. I could have. I guess I could have worked, but it would have. I felt like it would have been unfair for me to work because I know how I felt, and I know I would have been slacking.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
gotcha. You might as well take the time and
I might as well
recover.
take, but I hate it, right? And at least he goes, "You've been saying you wanted these." I go, "I know, but those is jokes, girl. You're not just joking
It's
around."
different. It's different.
I go, "I feel guilty. I don't like to call in. I already hate it."
I know.
enough."
I'll call in for Elliot. Like if Elliot's sick and Blanca's already been with him for a while, then I'll call in that kind of thing. Because
That's
it's like that's being responsible to my spouse.
That's a husbandly
You know,
thing.
or I'll
to
take
do.
like we get 3. What do you call it? It's its own little pocket. It's like
not-
personal time, basically.
It's like is it
called personal time.
Ours is called. We have PTO. We have sick time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had an EIT,
Okay,
which is like an emergency leave kind of thing.
gotcha.
But it's like its own little time buckets.
That's probably
Yeah,
the
yeah.
federal deal that they have. Yeah, we do the family whatever, but I've never done that. But we have
But no,
we basically have just 2. We get a sick day accrued a month that we
Okay,
work.
yeah.
Each month we gain a sick day, and then we get 3 of your own like personal days that you
Oh.
can use whenever you need to. So like I'll usually use those. Like we went turkey hunting that one time.
yeah.
Turkey. We carried shotguns around the woods.
We were better off buying
For
one.
a couple days. We went to Kroger and so I used
Do we
them like
even have
one
a
year for
Kroger?
that. Last
Yeah.
year I was putting those floors in, so I took a Friday for that. You know, just that kind of crap. And I don't feel bad using those because I'm like, we negotiated that. Like I think you
Yeah.
use what I'm a proud union member, and we
So-
negotiated for that, so I'm going to use those days.
Like I earn my PTO. Like I forget how many hours per check or whatever it is.
Right.
So I have a shit amount of PTO.
Right.
230 plus hours, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, I feel guilty to use any time off because I have this weird mind that I think it's going to be used against me.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
Oh, you're taking time off.
Yeah.
I know I told you can, but
Yeah.
like that's how I am. Like
Yeah.
I for me, I feel like I'm going to get used against me.
Sure.
So I always just really hesitate to anytime use PTO or anything because of it. So when I do use it, I feel like this guilt, but I don't know if that's
Gotcha.
I think it's just me, right?
Yeah. I don't like to take a lot of time off.
But like even tomorrow, like I can probably work, but at the same time, I know, like you said, there's that ebb and flow. Like this, like Saturday, I worked out.
Yeah.
I went and I worked out, and it was
You felt
one
all right.
of the toughest workouts I've had.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you didn't feel all right.
No, like I
Yeah.
felt fine, but like my body was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
But I was like, "Fuck you, body! I'm burning whatever's inside me out."
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. And so I was like sweating, and
Yeah.
I pushed through, and I finished my workout. But then later on, I just was like, ugh. And then we're gonna go to the river, and I'm like, let's go to the river.
Yeah. So you're a better man than me because I would have said, no, I'm not.
And then I'm like,
you
"All
go
right."
for it.
Because I know the longer I sit, the more shitty I'll feel. I
Yeah,
feel
sure.
like, and so then today was similar. I don't know if you got this, but at night, bruh,
Yeah.
someone turned up the heat or something, but drenched.
At night, I
Sweat.
was the opposite. At night, I got chills. I felt like I was freezing. My teeth would chatter. I would shake.
I wanted
Blanca's
that.
like, are you like dying? I'm like, no, I'm just freaking cold.
I kind of wish I was cold because I
was
woke up in
weird.
a sweat.
Yeah.
Like this last morning, whatever. Before this morning hit, before I woke up, I was like so sweaty. I woke up at probably 3-ish in the morning, and I'm like, okay. I go in the bathroom, I get the towel, I wipe off because I'm like sweating. Like, did I piss my pants?
Yeah.
Did I pee the bed?
So your penis sweat a lot.
Like, oh shit! I got a sweaty, got a hog here, sweating. But I'm sweating. I feel my bed on my side, and it's like wet, and I'm like,
No, I hate that.
shit.
See, on
I
a
can't-
normal night, I'll sweat
I'm not
like that.
lying. I'm not gonna lay back down on
When
this.
you have
'cause-
to flip your pillow over midnight, so
oh,
gross.
it was
Ugh.
the night before was it was the same way though. It was
Yeah.
both days in a row. It was just like that, and I ended up just using one blanket, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Workout this morning. Again, this workout was pretty tough for me because I'm feeling okay, but at the same time, I can tell that, I'm still fighting something.
Yeah, you're not
I'm
firing on all cylinders.
I'm going to sweat
right?
it out. And
Yeah.
Alicia's like, God damn, you sweat so much.
I sweat all the time.
I was like, but I'm already sweaty, girl. Girl, you know I sweat.
If I go outside and I move, I start sweating. This morning I was vacuuming out my garage. All right. That requires my arm to do this.
Your
I
garage
was-
is probably 400 degrees though, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cool by any means, but like I don't know. I feel like I sweat too much.
You got a cool garage. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's so cool.
pretty awesome.
So cool. My garage is amazing.
But you were sweating like a pig,
I'm
huh?
sweating like a damn pig, man. I know. I'm outside, I move, and I sweat. If I'm walking around looking at, I start pulling any weeds. I'm just like,
So,
I feel like I need one of those bands, like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
80s bands.
so one of my other buddies, Efren, you ever met Efren?
Yeah.
He was probably out at my wedding, actually.
Yeah. Well, Efren, I'm thinking of your buddy. You used to
he-
watch his daughter, right?
Yeah. They come
yeah.
to our Halloween stuff.
I
so-
think I golfed with him once.
Oh yeah. You have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
he's a
thought
pretty
so.
good golfer.
I thought so. Yeah.
That guy sweats a lot.
Hmm.
Like we'll go play ball and stuff, and I remember he used to ring it. He used to wear. He's like me. We would cut off our sleeves, and then he put it on.
yeah.
And I thought I was the only person that would ever do that. But like then I remember meeting him, and he'd do that. I was like, bro, I do that same shit. But he would after we at middle game or something, he'd take it off,
Yeah.
ring it out. I'm like, God damn,
Man,
that's
wanna
how I
go-
felt.
So I watched a movie last night, and this has nothing to do with what you're just talking
That's
about.
fine.
But it
Like,
made
we
me
can
think
move on.
It was making me think of when we went for that long hike because you wore your arm sleeve. On your
Yep.
head.
See? Yeah.
I watched a movie with Robert Redford last night.
Oh,
I think
man.
it was like something
Such
about
a good
the trail,
actor.
walking on the trail, a walk in the woods.
Okay.
And it was all about he's older, he's a writer, and he was a travel writer. And he's just kind of at that age, like, you know, his life, he feels like is passing him by. And he lives in New Hampshire, but he can walk across the street into this field from his house and get to the Appalachian Trail.
Okay.
So he looks at it and he's like, I'm going to go hiking. So I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've certainly done this where you get a tent out and just set it up just to set it up. And you're like practicing.
Oh,
so all of a sudden his wife comes home and she's looking and he's got like his old tent out and all this stuff. And he's like, I'm going to hike the Appalachian Trail. So he gets a friend who's Nick Nolte.
I'd be.
And he's
Nick
like,
Nolte.
they're gonna hike, like they're gonna fly down to Georgia and they're gonna hike all the way back up to New Hampshire on the Appalachian Trail. So it's a pretty good movie.
Is it like a newer, older movie?
It's I think it was 2020, like 2019 to 2023, somewhere in there. It's reasonably new.
Okay.
It's like
It's not young Robert.
No. It's like newish.
Okay.
And it just, I was like, man, I just want to go for a long hike.
Is it based on a true story?
It didn't say it was.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't mean it's not, but it didn't say it was.
But yeah, a nice long hike,
But
right?
I'm just like, I'm so in the mood to get out in nature. I did nothing this summer. This fall, I kind of feel like doing some fun stuff.
Let me know.
Because like the weather's more mild in the fall.
Yeah.
In the summer, it gets all dry up here. Most of the country, I think, is starting to experience this. But you can't even do fires because of the forest fire danger and all that. Fall, I think, is more. I kind of want to do like a snow camp out sometime.
So
I think that'd be fun.
I went with bucket hunting, and his buddy Travis went with us. And I want to say that year there was snow.
Probably.
One of those years, it was just cold as fuck. I just remember it was in that little cabin. You remember that me and you cleaned up?
Yeah.
It was 15, maybe 20 degrees in there. Right?
Nice.
It was so cold. It was cool though, right?
Yeah, right.
It was cold but cool.
Just to like make yourself feel alive.
Yeah.
Like maybe I could freeze to death. Who knows?
But I might not.
But I might not.
But you know what decided to break that day was my zipper to my sleeping bag. My below zero sleeping bag zipper broke that.
Is that the one that I found at the yard sales?
Love that fucking thing.
It's a feather down. It's like a REI special. I mean, it was
I still
nice.
Broken zipper and all, I still use that
I
fucking
wonder if
thing.
you could like replace a zipper. You know?
Yeah. It's one of those zippers where you zip it and it's like.
Yeah. I don't know what
piece
you
of
mean,
shit.
but
You ever zip something and then it opens up?
oh no,
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like I zip up and then my tits just bust out
Well, I
of its
love
shirt.
that I bought you a piece of shit. Thanks.
No,
for,
it's not your fault. It just got caught on something, I think, when I was zipping it.
Yeah, it was your fault. That's obvious.
Oh, but that thing kept me so warm.
Yeah, it's goose down or whatever.
Oh, I love it. I still use it to this day.
Yeah, I haven't used it in a while because I haven't gone camping in a while.
But that's, and that's the thing. I don't think we've gone hiking, like a long hikes for
since then, we've done it twice. And
I was in my garage. I was looking for something. I was looking for a bungee cord or something. Yesterday actually, and then I see my hiking bag, and I was like, "Fuck, man! I haven't got to use this thing ever again." Right. There's probably There's probably like rat shit all.
Probably murder.
There's probably
murder all over it.
Murdered frankincense in it.
Yeah, man, I wanna go because I'm gonna go into work early this week, but then I think second half of the week.
When do you go back to work officially? Like, well, not officially,
this
but
upcoming, but the following week, that Thursday.
When do teachers have to be back? Do you guys are back before students?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be honest with you, to get everything done in time, I'll be going back basically now. But we aren't contractually going back until next Thursday. So not this upcoming again, but the following week's Thursday. Friday
The 20-something or whatever.
Not a required work day, but who knows? I'll probably be going in. And then that Monday, Tuesday are required days, and then school starts. So it goes from like nothing to a million miles a minute. That's why it's just worth going in.
It's just crazy.
Getting stuff ready.
The summer went like
Oh my God, this year is insane. I've never had a summer, and my cousin's been living with us. It's been a lot of fun. It's I don't know. It just flew.
Yeah, we haven't gone camping. We haven't got to do any of that stuff.
Well, I didn't have a wheel on my trailer for like decently.
I didn't have a truck.
You didn't have a truck. You got a truck.
There we go.
Hey! This guy got a fucking truck.
Yeah.
You got your.
So
yeah.
I've been without a truck for almost 2 years now.
Well, you had it, just didn't run.
Yeah, it's sitting my. I still have it.
I tried to convince him to Fred Flintstone it. We could cut the floorboards out and just run it, but he said no. So
yeah, no, I went and bought a truck a week ago, actually today.
yeah.
It's a brand new 2024 like Chevy Silverado. It's only 1,500, but it can tow my trailer.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, easy. Yeah.
And then slightly, everyone gets like when you purchase something that's relatively large, I guess.
Yeah.
You always get that buyer's
remorse.
Yeah. So that started kicking in yesterday for me. I haven't told Alicia this, but like I just started thinking like, should I have gotten the other one? Should I got like a 2,500? Oh my God. Like
you'll be happy with it.
Dude, did these sell, they're salesmen, obviously. All I asked was, I don't need all the bells and whistles. I can give a fuck about that. I just need to be able to, one, I love to have music, listen to music, podcasts, whatever. So if it has an aux port, cool, whatever. It has Bluetooth, that's also awesome.
Yeah.
So, it has
that's probably pretty standard now.
Yeah. So it has Bluetooth, push to start, it flies, all that stuff. Cool.
It soars through the air.
It kind of like just
It's a
hovers.
majestic eagle.
It's a beautiful truck. I love it.
It's a very nice truck.
But then I was like, what if it doesn't pull my trailer? So I think this week I'm going to pull my trailer.
It will pull your trailer.
Just to pull my trailer.
So my dad actually, I was just telling him that you got a new truck, and he goes, man, those new ones, they have an upgraded suspension apparently.
Oh.
So the 1500, according to my dad.
I believe your dad.
Which my dad knows a lot more than I did about trucks.
I'm like your dad's distant second. He considers me a son.
He does.
I'm just kidding.
How's my boy doing? Every time I go, how's my boy?
That was my adopted Singalian
apparently
boy.
they've upgraded the suspension, which is a good thing because I think you will find, because my truck is a 2500, basically the same motor, a little bit upgraded suspension. I don't know what that means. I have a 2009. You have a 2024. My guess is they're about the same truck now, but
I don't know.
When I towed your truck behind your trailer behind my truck, I didn't feel it. And I feel my trailer, and my trailer is supposedly not that heavy, but I kind of.
Your trailer's a little bigger, right? But it got that kick out too.
It's 30 feet. It's like 28 feet, but actually 32 feet with the hitch. So I just say 30 foot, and it's got the slide, and I think the slide adds a shit ton of weight. So
whatever.
Oh well. It goes fine, because I learned with my tires, do not go more than 55. It's not worth it.
Oh.
The tires can't handle it no matter what. Trailer tires just are shit. And so just don't go fast at all, and you'll be fine.
Well, I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna hope to try this week. I know I want to take it out, and
hey, you want a partner? I'll go with you.
I just need to. I just want to try to see if it pulls, how it feels. Obviously, it's not something I do. Like I've mentioned before, I didn't grow up doing a lot of camping. I think we went camping my mom will probably, she'll probably reply to this, but I can only remember camping
Jesse's mom.
A handful of times.
Remind him of the times you took him camping.
We went with my stepdad Scott, who we went on an RV, or I think it wasn't a camper. It was like his mom's like a
pull behind trailer.
Not a pull behind. Like what's it? Fucking RV, right? The ones that drive.
Motorhome?
Motorhome.
Oh, okay.
It was like a motorhome. And then
ones that drive.
Vaguely do I remember going camping. We had this family reunion. I was probably like, fuck, I don't even know. I'm gonna lie. It's probably like 5 or under. I don't think I had my brother and sisters then. I went camping then. And then I know, after that, I think I only camped with Blanca and them. And then, So, all this stuff's new to me, using a trailer, pulling a trailer, doing all this shit. So I just want to.
Hey, your truck now, though, let me tell you, the technology in it now, you can back that shit up not knowing what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
It's got the backup camera with the little, move your trailer here.
So I used to work at this fence company, and I used to have to back up the trailers. I used to have to do a lot of that stuff when I was starting out because I was the shop guy. So I got pretty good at like aim in certain ways. We didn't have those cameras or anything, so I used my mirrors all the time.
Doesn't.
I use mirrors, and then even now, even with my camera on the truck, and my her car has a camera, backup camera. I still use my mirrors. I just don't trust the camera. I don't trust what I'm literally seeing.
So we have had cameras in our cars long enough. When I have them, I've started to use them. My brain's kind of adjusted to it, but I know what you mean.
No, I use them.
I don't trust the side by side profile because like I have been super close to my truck before, where in the camera it looks fine, and then I look over and I'm like, oh shit.
Well, and then my truck doesn't have, like, my wife has these sensors on her car where it'll My truck
Lincoln
doesn't have that,
but it doesn't have any sense of how close something is. So if it's at all near it, it's like, and it's old.
You're like slamming on
so it's
your
like
brakes.
Loose, I think. So it's like, and scares the shit out of me every time. Like, Jesus! And I look, and there's like a guy across the street. I'm like, dude. It's fine. Leave it alone.
Alicia's car will do that sometimes. I'll start backing up, and it's like, beep.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
stop.
And I stop, and I'm like, motherfucker, that guy's fucking down the road.
Oh, sure.
Like
the truck. I'm going to sideswipe the truck. That's nothing. But this guy?
Oh, my God. So on our way home, Blanca wanted to stop at the... so Blanca went with us when we worked out. It was like me, Blanca, and Alicia. And when we went to work out, she was like, hey, on our way back, she's like, hey, can we stop at, the coffee shop right here on the corner and get some like coffee and stuff? I'm like, all right, cool. And so as I'm going around the roundabout, the one on Vancouver right there.
Yeah.
I'm coming this way. This lady's going this way. And she honks at this car who had the right of way, one. Two, was about a car and a half length in front of her.
So it wasn't even close to a collision.
Not even close, bro. Like, I could have ran in front of her and then not got hit. But she honks on her horn. I'm like, why is she honking? What the fuck, dude?
Is she really short?
I don't know. I'm not going to say my wife's short, so I can't say.
Well, I mean, like... But
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Your wife was driving.
Nah.
It was your wife who did it.
She was in the minivan.
No, but I get it. Because, like, when people are down here, I can see how things look closer. Mm-hmm. Like, when you sit up high... Like us, Joe.
She was in it. I guess you're 6'4",
like,
I'm
you
5'7". There's a
like,
big difference.
Blanca always freaks out when I'm pulling into places because she thinks I'm going to hit somebody. And I can see the front end and like, we're not even close.
You're like, babe,
shut up.
My head's in the clouds. I can see it all.
Let me open up the fucking sunroof. If I had drove a Mazda Miata, which
that's how you drive.
I would drive like Magilla Gorilla. It would be here. My head would be over the top. I want
you look
that
like
car.
a Mario Kart driver.
I would. I'd be the ape in Donkey Kong or whatever. I'd spin around circles.
You look like Bowser.
I would. It would be great.
But no, I think so. I think that must be because there is times where Alicia, she has a invisible brake on her side, and I don't know if there's anybody else there whose wives are like this.
Slamming.
She even said. I think we were going to the river, and she's like, "You need to put something on your, just on your, where my floorboard is on the dash part on the bottom." She's like, "You need to put something there." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Cause I keep hitting it with my foot with my brake." I'm like, "Well, stop
doing it."
She was like, "But I keep doing this." I'm like, "Well, why are you doing it right now?"
Yeah,
stop doing that. But
I know
it was funny.
Blanca drives me nuts because she always jokes like she's a better driver, which she is definitely not. I did drive my truck into the river. That was different.
No. That
I was backing a fucking boat into the river, which I'd never done before. It was very slick.
Whose boat was that? Your friend's boat?
Yeah, my friend Scott's boat. Thank God didn't damage the boat. Lost the truck, but that's okay.
I didn't damage the boat, but my car doesn't float.
The coolest thing is, though, the value of the truck was more than what I bought it for. So I actually made money on that truck, but it sucked. I loved that truck. It was a 97 Chevy Silverado. And I don't know why.
That was a nice truck. I remember that truck.
It was that green. It ran like a charm. I love my new truck. So
just
it all
doesn't like
out.
going down boat ramps.
But just didn't want it. It wanted to be a boat. It just identified as a boat. Unfortunately, it was a truck. There was nothing like realizing I was floating on the water.
It was like,
the
wait,
amount of fucks that I shouted was pretty intense.
The snorkel? It doesn't got a snorkel? What the fuck?
I know. I thought I could hit a button and turn it into like a submarine. I tried. It takes forever. I saw a movie the other day where a car went in the water and it was like a torpedo. It just dove in and sunk instantly. I'm like, bull fucking shit.
You're like, I've been there.
It takes about an hour and a half for a car to go under the water. And it's amazing how fast the doors won't open anymore.
Well, that's a lot of pressure.
No amount of water, like barely any on the door, you can't get it open, man. It was insane. And instantly the electrics go out. I couldn't get the window down. Scary. It was so scary.
That would be scary, dude. Because you're like, I'm going to drown.
That's where my brain went. I was a little embarrassed when I got out of it, and it just like the roof of it was still visible.
I'm going to drown.
But I like, there was a moment where it was like, I gave in. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm tired. I just got tired. I was like, I'm done kicking. This is how I go.
Boss, I'm tired.
I was terrified of water until I got tired. Then I'm just like, well, this is I guess this is how it's gonna be. How bad can it hurt? How bad can it hurt?
I hear if there's one way to go, drowning is actually a peaceful way.
Sure.
After the struggle.
Who do you ask? How peaceful was it when you drowned to death? Somebody who was brought back from drowning? I don't know. Maybe.
Well, when you were kicking and fighting for air.
Right. I literally, like, I kicked the door so hard, the door frame bent. And as soon as I started to see light coming into the door, I'm like, eventually the glass is going to shatter because it's going to get tweaked, right?
Yeah.
So I just kept kicking, like 3 more kicks, it shattered. And then it sunk fast because the air had somewhere to go.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But until that point, I was like, fuck, man. I'm like, I guess I'm done. And then I lay there and I look, it's still just on the floorboard. I'm like, fuck, I can give up now. What am I doing? Like an hour later, I'm still like, I'm just so tired.
Oh my God. I'm so flustered.
What's the Southern lady thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I feel the fumes.
That's how it is,
It
though.
was awful, man.
That'd be rough, though. That'd
But
be
anyway,
scary.
I love my new truck.
Your truck's awesome. I love that truck.
Yeah,
the
man.
GMC.
Like,
Beautiful truck.
I've thought about getting a new one. It's got a little rust on it, but I like, man, it's just like, it's so fucking expensive.
I'm never going to get a new truck.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'll keep this fucker running. And the engine's supposed to be indestructible. It's got an Allison transmission, I think. I think that was all they made back then. Yours probably has the same thing.
Allison's?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They
I'll ask her.
are bulletproof. Absolutely bulletproof.
I got a 45. I'm about to put it to the test.
All right, boys, here we go.
Couple more of these.
Let's see.
And we'll find out.
Could you imagine?
What'd you do? Well, they said it was bulletproof. I want the truth.
Jesse quit drinking again. Short-lived sobriety. I shot the truck.
I shot it up. Can you imagine?
I do think alcohol helps the podcast a little bit. I will say
That'd be
the juices are
hilarious.
flowing a little easier than when we're drinking coffee.
Bro,
but
that'd be so funny, though.
Would
It's
it?
bulletproof. It is bulletproof? Bang.
Stop! How about they said it's bulletproof?
What do the kids say? Say less. I'm going to go get my 45 and I'm going to prove it right now.
The kids say what?
Say less.
That's a thing now.
Say less.
By the way,
Pay less.
I am an old guy. Young shit pisses me off. All these kids at the Olympics biting their fucking medals. And then that cute little Chinese girl, like, she didn't know what they were doing. She looked over, she like put it in front of her mouth.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. I was wondering what that was
Funny.
about.
I love it. She didn't know what the fuck they were doing. That'd be me. I'd be like, what are we doing?
So there's one thing.
It's real. It's a real medal. You have to test
think
it.
so.
You got to test it.
What is this?
Yeah. It's
I want someone to break their tooth and never do that again.
But what do you think the metal inside of the metal is? Like, it's not pure gold.
It's pewter or something.
It's something like
It's a cheap-ass
deadly.
metal. Come
It's
on.
something deadly. It's lead. Let's be real.
How
It's
much of
lead
it? It's
under
like
there.
gold plated, right?
Right. It's got to be.
Do you think back in the day it was real?
It had to have been. They didn't have plating back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might have.
But gold plating, that I think that's what it is now. It has to be, right?
There's no
just
way
wacko.
they're gonna waste that much. No, like the rings that you get at the Super Bowl, that's probably real gold all the way.
I would hope so.
Because I think like I got like a high school ring, right?
Oh, that would have been. I wanted
no
one
reason.
so bad.
I got one. didn't play a
I was
sport.
so poor. I couldn't
I did
afford one of
nothing.
those.
My parents were good middle class white people parents. I was like, I want a ring. They're like, okay. So I got a ring.
Yeah.
Very badass. Sometimes I wear it as a mafia ring these days. Very great.
You know what else I
And
wanted?
it's got the police shield on it.
You know what else I wanted?
Because I was going to be a cop.
I wanted a Leatherman coat. The
Oh
ones
yeah,
that-
I got the letter
God,
for
I got-
academics, which is funny because I think I had like a 3.4 GPA.
I think I had a
But I got
1.2 GPA.
Together, we
get
had
one
a
of
4
those.
Together we were a 4.0 student, brother.
Like, give me that 1.6, baby.
Dude, I was so dumb though. I didn't take any special classes. Like, I took all special classes.
I took
No,
special ed, Special Olympics.
I got a B in physics, which was
Didn't take physics.
oh man, I loved physics. I loved the idea of physics. but the
Biology
math, I
was
couldn't.
the highest I ever went in science.
So here's the funny thing. I took chemistry.
Never took
sucked at it. So the biology class I took was like a special class they started for kids who didn't do well in science. And I was one of the smarter ones in that class. I think I did all right. I was just a very lazy kid.
I was
in high
so
school.
lazy in high school.
And I wish I wouldn't have been because I think now, like, I have a desire to learn these things. You know, like I teach the youth. What if I could teach my first graders how to use a microscope? How cool would that be?
That'd be sick.
Like, hey, this is the interior modeling of a cell, kids. Look at this. That'd be so neat.
Yeah, I
so
kinda-
neato.
I kind of wish I was a little more. Like, I wish my mindset when I was in high school was a little different.
Yeah.
I
Because
was
I'll
just.
tell you, brother, talking to you and listening to you, you got some brains in you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
You got some smarts. This guy's got some real smarts.
I
in
got
him.
street smarts,
You got
not
some.
book
You got
smarts.
some natural smarts.
Like biology. So I took biology, and I had this instructor. I had this teacher named Miss Mahan. Right. She was probably one of the coolest teachers I've ever encountered. Right.
Yeah.
She was unique. She was funny. She made class awesome. Anybody from my high school that somewhat may listen to this podcast and get to this point.
At any level.
Miss
of
Mahan
listening.
she was a great teacher. Like she made things funny, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there was this girl in my class named Michaela that would give me her notes for the tests and stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
So shout out to her. That's the only reason I passed that class. That and the teacher, just like I said, she made it fun. So
Yeah,
it was,
you
it
wanted
was
to be
fun.
there. Yeah.
But like I feel like physics would have been fun.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I would have got the hang of that. I don't know.
So there's
Speaking
a girl
of physics,
in my class. It
Yeah.
was so funny. And like, she'll never hear this, but if she
Yeah,
ever
neither
did,
were this other.
this is a great memory, and this is in no way like laughing at you. This is definitely laughing with you. So the teacher was talking about a pivot point and like balance and counterbalance. And so he had a volunteer go up on a counter on their knees and put their hands behind their back and try to pick up, I forget what it was, but something like with their mouth, right?
Hello.
And so
is
she
dirt.
volunteered.
Okay.
So she got up on the counter, had her hands behind her back on her knees,
I've seen
and
this
she
movie.
goes to get it, and she fell, right? And hit her face on the countertop. And he goes, all right, I've never had a student not put their hands out for that one, but do you guys see the point? It was one of the funniest things that I've ever seen in
just
physics
goes
class. He's like,
physics.
physics. It's like, yep.
She's like, okay, go in it.
No, it was so great. She was so embarrassed. I felt bad because like she was an awesome person, and it was like in no way reflected on her. I would have done the same thing. I was such a loser in high school, but like it was so funny. It just was funny,
Dude.
And I would go in. I wanted to be like an A student. And that's what I hated about. I had to be so perfect. So if I wasn't perfect enough, I just like kind of gave up. That was my issue. So like. I had a friend compliment me. He was like, you know, you may not be like a genius, but you work so hard. Like you'll always make it.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I was like,
That's a
it was a nice thing. But you know what I felt? Like,
fuck you.
do you think I have to work hard? I'm not working hard at all. And you know what I did in freshman year? I sucked.
No, I think that's like a true statement though. Like hard work really does pay
It's
off.
so true because was I a genius? No.
No, like any job I've ever had, for me anyway, like I might have never been the like smartest person, the quickest, or any of those things, but I always worked. I always felt like I could outwork pretty much anyone.
Sure.
When I worked at that fence company, when I worked with Gabe, I think that's why Gabe liked me, because I could outwork any of the other guys.
Yeah.
They might have been bigger and stronger than me, but I was like, I outworked the fuck out of them. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, you're tired now? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I can keep going all
See,
day.
that's the thing
Fuck
with big
you.
guys. I know being a bigger guy, you wear out quick. You got
Yeah.
a lot of weight you got to carry around. I learned that from watching
tired.
the one survivalist show. The guy's like, I'm big. I can't do a lot. I'm going to have to sit around a lot. I'm like, good luck.
I know.
Sorry, bro.
I feel like that's a lot more to feed too.
Then
Like,
later,
yeah,
it's true, man. I got to eat a lot.
you know what I mean? Like
You
calorie
don't
wise.
keep this up.
I gotta do something. I don't know. I don't know. Physics is
Physics was a
crazy.
cool class.
That would have been cool. I sucked at high school though.
No, like I sucked at
I was just
everything
lazy.
smart, you know?
Yeah.
I did well. I took a law class. That was fun. I always would joke. I went to Kamaikan Law. I was pretty good at it.
Did you tell
but-
Brooke that?
Nah, I should though. I should. I'm a lawyer. I took a high school.
You might be a
law class.
prosecutor. I'm a defender.
I should have. We did a mock
I'm a
trial
defense
at the
attorney.
end, and I was so like, I was also probably the same as today. I was an embarrassed person. I didn't like to get in front of people.
I feel like you would have been so good at drama.
I should
and
have
shit,
been
though.
the lawyer, and I wouldn't do
How
it.
come you never took drama?
Because
you were embarrassed,
I was
you think?
embarrassed. Yeah, because
think
I
you
wanted
would've-
to be an actor. This is the funny thing. As a kid, I was convinced if I went to Hollywood, I'd make it. I'm convinced, absolutely convinced.
I believe it.
Did
though.
I go? Did I do shit in my life for acting? No,
And I took drama, so I did a few, and I sucked at drama because
dude. I would.
I was
fucking
so
love it.
embarrassed.
If I were drunk all the time, I would be the most amazing actor.
If I was drunk in high school, if I drank in high school, I would have been pretty good too.
I would have been pretty cool in high school if I were a drinker.
But no, getting back to my Leatherman coat though,
Yeah, back to the whole thing that started this conversation.
I would have loved to have one of those.
So I could have shoved a nerd in their locker.
Guess what though? Don't know where any of those letters are though.
Yeah.
No, once
You got letters probably for running and stuff, huh?
I lettered in track. I lettered in football.
Do you get a different letter for everything?
Yeah.
So, you could have just lettered your coat everywhere.
So what? It wasn't an actual letter. So you'd get like for me it was Foster High School, so I'd get an F.
Yeah.
And then you get these like for
pins.
football, it was like a football like
Pin, right?
Not a pin, but
a patch.
A patch.
A patch.
Yeah. And then drama was like
Okay,
the happy
fuck.
sad clown. Or
All
whatever.
I got was the fucking letter. That's all I got.
Academic wise, I would have got flicked in the nuts.
I qualified for academics, but I knew a lot of people that qualified in academics and did like the honors classes. I did not do one honors class.
So my ex-girlfriend in high school was the honors.
Yeah.
She did all those. She probably lettered in academics. She was top 10, like I
she
said, in high
had to.
school. Yeah.
Yeah. If I honored, she honored for sure.
The teacher would have flicked me on my balls. That's about the only any benefits
Did you
I got.
get molested by your teacher?
Fuck, I wish.
I just took
There
the
wasn't
training.
even
Let me
no-
tell you, teachers get a lot of training on not doing that shit.
I won't lie. There was no teacher that I could remember that I would have let molest me.
Well, that's a good thing.
But if there was a hot teacher and she was like trying to come on to me,
my brother had a huge crush on.
if there was any there was this teacher in my grade school. I remember I had a crush on Miss Scott, and then she was like Miss Davis. I think she was my kindergarten and
she was
first grade
probably
teacher.
young and then got married. Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
But if I was in high school and there was like a youngish hot teacher that came on to me, I'd have probably like I'd have went with it. I would have never told nobody though. I would have been
the
that
problem
kid.
is it's on the teacher to not do that.
Well, duh.
It's very funny,
But like I said,
it's
I would-
disgustingly sad, but also funny when you have to take because we have to do these annual trainings right before we start work. That's like
So what if the teacher's 21 and you're 18?
no, it actually does not matter.
No, I know, no, but like you know what I mean.
It's illegal
Like,
for a
fuck,
teacher in
but-
Washington State to have relations
I get
with any student. So, which is a good thing.
No, I agree.
For everybody else, this is the weird thing about Washington that I still think is kind of not right. If I weren't a teacher and there was a 16-year-old,
Okay.
then I could legally have intercourse with that person.
With a 16
Because
year
a
old?
16-year-old in Washington is legally allowed to decide. That needs to raise.
That's
I
for
think.
real?
I think, yeah. That was even in our training, which doesn't even apply to teachers anyway, for good reason.
That's disgusting.
And I just am like, I don't know. I think 18 is a good age,
It's a
right?
perfect age.
Like 18 and above. Like even at 18.
if you ain't in high school,
If you're
that's
40
the
years old and
perfect
you're
age.
with an 18-year-old.
The nice.
I was 25 and went on a date with a 19-year-old. You know how weird that was? That was fucking weird. That was
Bro.
like enough.
I was a 20-something-year-old dating Blanca who was 18.
You're
so,
weird.
So,
You're-
so it's not.
No, I don't know. It was like, and the funny thing was that was.
But yeah, I get what you're
I
saying.
told you that time I went on that date, and I'm gonna state it again because it still bothers me that this person was somehow offended by me. I think. So we go on this date. We're at a restaurant, and I'm joking around. It's great. She's laughing the whole time. I didn't think it was really gonna go anywhere, anyway, but it was a good time.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "I'm laughing so hard my cheeks hurt." And I go, "That's what I do."
I make them cheeks hurt, girl.
Meaning,
I'm gonna clap them cheeks.
so see, and I think that's the only logical thing in my mind that she could have taken it as.
I feel like clapping cheeks
But
is
all
new.
of a sudden she goes like, "Whoa," and got really weird. And we ended it and like left. And then she stopped volunteering where I was working. And was like, it was so awkward. I was like,
okay. Like, what did
what
I
the fuck?
say?
And I was like very nervous back then. So
Well, no.
But-
I think some things women don't realize is
know.
sometimes guys we say things and we don't say things because we know we're saying it to be creeps.
but did I
We're
say
saying
anything though? Like
no.
this is like,
But we say
I don't
things
know.
because we're being funny.
but it's like, what do you do at that point? I was just like, I don't even know where to go from here.
Yeah, even clapping cheeks then, I
So
would have thought
I
like
pray
your,
to God
your
this
cheek.
person's listening because it was obviously very weird. I'm sorry if I said something offensive. I didn't mean to. I literally meant that's what I do, just as basically a space filler, I guess.
No, that's what I do. I make you laugh. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I meant. So sorry that you got freaked out all of a sudden. When it
So-
worked anyway, she was super rude to the wait staff.
So I seen this
So
video.
actually, you're the bitch, and I'm amazing. So
No,
that's pretty
100%.
much
That's
where it is, and that's how it goes.
So I think sometimes if someone's offended, I think they need to say something to the person,
Right.
so that person realizes, oh, well,
Yes.
I either didn't mean that, or I
Our
apologize.
training also taught us that if you see something offensive, you have to tell the person.
Well, yeah, I mean it's smart, right? Or if you see, but like I think in today's society, especially, like people are just so easily offended by anything,
Yeah.
or everything, that it's like,
You know what,
What
cracks
do you
me
do?
up? As a male in a female-dominated,
occupation, yeah.
it doesn't bother me one iota, so I will never complain about it. I don't really care. I find
yeah.
a lot of things funny, but the only sexual jokes I ever hear are usually in the context of the dumbass trainings we have to make.
Yeah.
And they come from women. There's no
Always.
male in education that's going to openly make a sex joke.
Because as much as people don't
mean-
want to believe, men normally aren't that stupid.
To be honest with you, too, girls are way dirtier than guys.
No,
Every
they are.
book my wife ever reads is a sex book.
dude.
The movies and the shows that she's into are
Alicia
very
watches
sexual.
these, or she reads these. She doesn't
Smut
always.
novels.
Yeah,
That's
smut.
what they are. They're smut, man.
But
Dirty.
she'll talk to me about stuff like the girls at her work said.
Yeah, right.
And stuff. And the girls at her work are awesome.
Yeah.
They're good people and stuff.
Right.
But like they're girls. They're just people.
Right.
And sometimes they say some stuff it makes me laugh, obviously, because I don't get offended by that shit.
No.
But like, it's just, it's what it is. Like I worked when I worked at my job previous to where I'm at now, it was mainly women. There was guy at the time. There wasn't many guys. I was like one of them. One of like I want to say maybe 5 of us at that time. And you would just hear some off the wall shit from the girls. And
Yeah.
I never once was offended. A lot of times I was actually more like
Turned
embarrassed. No, I was actually more nervous.
I was actually super horny.
I walked around with a raging boner. Like, whoa.
It's never got that graphic.
And they got offended. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then my boner offended them. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. My body's doing what my body does.
I can't hide it. What do you want me to do? Sit down?
Yeah, it's like breathing. Like I gotta breathe, right?
Man. No, like, do you think it's like, because I do think there was probably a time for men where we were like awful.
Oh, the 60s, 70s, that were 80s,
like
probably.
grabbing
Even.
ass and like, but do you think like in our generation, who's more sexual, men or women?
Women.
I think so too.
I think
really
guys are being more
women have been liberated
emasculated.
and men have been chained. Yeah, yeah, I think so.
I think there's a thing now where it's like men can't be men, right?
Yes, I agree.
And a lot of times we're not trying to be perverts,
No.
right? We're just being.
I honestly think
don't know what
the
it is,
average
but, like-
guy is probably more knowledgeable about what he should and shouldn't say than the average
I agree.
gal. I think, at least where we come from.
Well, I think, and I'm not speaking for every guy out there, but I think most men we're pretty respectful of women, of people around us.
Doesn't mean we don't screw up here and there, but generally speaking.
But it's not, if you're gonna overhear someone talking, maybe just move on and don't pay attention to what they're saying.
It's not their job to turn their ears
like,
off.
even
It's your
with-
job to shut your mouth.
Well, even with my the trainings I've had to take,
Yeah.
you watch what you say. You know, there's people around. It's like,
Well, to
it's
be
not
honest,
my
like,
fault.
I'm not going to say anything. Like, I totally agree. I work with children. I have no reason.
I work with
to
adults, but yeah, I
joke
get you.
that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like in schools, it's a little bit different. But when you have days where there's no kids around and it's all adults, there have been some things said by women that were hysterical. I will just say hysterical. There was one gal, she doesn't work with me anymore. Not related. Our principal's pretty straight laced. Like she would never joke that way. But like she said something about the school system that we have to like get our stuff done in, and it was something about the sexual harassment piece. And this gal made a joke so funny, I think every jaw dropped. And I almost belly laughed. It was very funny, but it's just such a weird.
But like, I feel like even if a girl jokes about something like that,
It's
right?
very different than if a guy did it.
Well, no, I think so. If a girl jokes about something and a guy laughs, all of a sudden he's like creepy, or there's something wrong with him,
Right.
You know?
I said almost. I didn't say I
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
belly
Though, but
laugh.
I'm saying it's because
Yeah.
you already knew within you that if
Right.
I laugh, there, I'm gonna look at.
Right.
I'm gonna be looked at kind of like,
Yeah.
oh my god, Tom's the pervert.
Right. No, you got to be really careful.
So like I was the same way. Like when I would hear some off the wall shit, like it would make me laugh, but I would just be, I'd be typing, I'd be helping someone, and I've probably said this before, but I would just be like,
And then the girls
I would
think
do
it's
this, I
cute
would
and
just
funny,
like-
oh, we made him feel awkward. It's like, nah, you go do your thing, but I'm just gonna be over here working. Yeah,
they-
I had a
no,
situation like that where I
oh,
worked with a
dude,
lot of gals, and
they
they'd
would
say
try
things
to
and-
do things to make me break, but I was just like,
But what guy is gonna go to HR and complain?
none.
Because I don't really fucking care, and no one's ever
It'd
actually
be different if-
harassed me.
If I'm walking around, the girl's like trying to stick her finger in my butthole or something,
Right.
then yeah, we got a
But
problem.
let's be honest. Like I totally get it.
Let's be honest, I wouldn't mind.
There was a
No, I'm just
time where
kidding.
please lick my butthole for all I care. No, but there's
Let's go. Let's go.
Just almost threw up. But no, I mean, I think women definitely went through some shit.
Oh, bro.
there was
Of course.
definitely decades where it was not cool.
And I still wouldn't be cool if I found out like some guy was like harassing my wife
Right?
or my
Some
daughters.
customer comes in like 90 years old and he's like, "This is the way we used to do it." And grabs your wife's titties or something. What are you gonna do? What are you
I'm
gonna
not
do?
going to do
man?
nothing because I know
He's
my wife's
90.
going to fuck him up.
He's 90. No, would you give him a pass? A 90-year-old?
Probably. But
I mean,
like,
come on. I'd hope my wife would give him a pass. Like, just let him come feel, honey.
I just know Alicia wouldn't.
No, Blanca wouldn't either.
Alicia's, she ain't going to fuck around. She'll be like,
She's cool.
what's
man.
that? Fuck around, find out?
Yeah.
You're going to find out real quick.
Yep.
She's gonna be like, so yesterday we stopped at Red Apple. This has nothing to do with sexual
A
harassment, by the
90-year-old
way.
grabbed her boobs.
No, this has nothing to do. But it's just this is my wife. She makes me laugh sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of times actually. But we were I went into Red Apple because I was gonna get like bottled waters to take with us to the river. Because we took, me and all the kids.
Yeah,
and,
you wanted to stay hydrated.
Yeah. My daughter came with her boyfriend and their little boy, or not their little boy, but his.
I know
little
what
boy.
you mean.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. But
anyway,
she's like stepmama, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I go in, I start coming out, and Alicia was actually trying to come back in. She was trying to come into the store, and I was like, oh, they don't got bottled water. So we start walking back to my truck. And there's a car parked next to us. And as Alicia is walking up to the car, they open their door. Alicia slams the door and hits on it. Fucking bitch, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, fuck no. She's about to fight. I don't even know what to do right now. I'm thinking in my head, like my heart literally dropped. Sadia's boyfriend, he's in the back of the truck. He's in the back seat. And he's like, oh, shit. And I was, we both had the same reaction.
Yeah.
I'm like, this girl didn't even hit her truck. I'm thinking in my head, like, why?
Because as a man, we know that
I gotta side with my girl, like,
I don't.
I gotta side with my chick, obviously, but like at the same time, I'm not gonna fight another girl.
No.
But like, Alicia slams the door, slams on it, says something, and I was like, oh my Lord, I've never seen this from her. And then I kind of look. It's our friend Eddie's wife, Sophia.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Alicia and Sophia go back to like their grade,
they're
like
from grade
middle
school,
school
right?
or some shit like that. And so it was just
thank
her.
God your heart goes from.
Alicia is laughing her ass off. Her friend Sophia is obviously laughs and like, girl, blah, blah, blah. They talk and they say stuff, but like she was obviously a little like at first too, like, oh shit,
Who is this? Yeah.
like who's this girl? But it was so funny. But from that moment I already knew, like, oh yeah, if a guy was to grab Alicia's boobs or something, she would have been
Right on.
let's go, pow. Sucker punch to the throat.
She would have been a master boxer.
Oh, she would have done something. I'm sure of it.
Man, I tell you.
Sometimes I'll do this to her. Like, we'll be in the stores. We'll be shopping around. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go check out. I'm going to go see if they got any cool clothes for me or some shoes or whatever. And then I'll come back and she's like looking around and I won't pay attention. I'll walk by her like I'm just a random person, but I'll grab her butt or something to see what her reaction is. Most of the time she knows it's me, but she's like, oh, she goes, oh, you're lucky. You're lucky it was you.
I would have knocked you out.
I'm like, you didn't do a thing.
Yeah. You leaned into it.
You said what? Pop that butt?
That's how the Blanca would do that. She'd try to trick me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were somebody else.
yeah.
So funny.
Alicia.
That's what I need is my self-esteem brought down. That's great.
No, I'm jealous. You know that and you're using it against me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who the fuck's trying to touch your booty
Right.
cheeks, girl?
Right. Yeah. Who are you fucking with, girl?
Anyway.
God dang, man.
Question of the week. We've gone into this
what's
one.
question of the week? What's the question of the week?
This has nothing to do with anything we've talked about all
That's
day.
okay. That's all right.
But getting into a serious moment.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's delve deep.
My question of the week, actually. Oh God, here's another question actually that was covered, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Well, no, does it
I think it might have been one we've used.
Oh, okay.
No.
Never mind.
But hey, my question of the week: does it feel good to have people rely on you?
No, never.
No, as a
not
man
at all.
though.
No,
as a
I'm just
man,
kidding.
does it feel
Of
good?
course, to feel needed, to feel valuable, to feel
like your family and
your
stuff.
skills are worth. Yeah, I think every human needs that.
Yeah. Do you think women have that same feeling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or do you think they naturally already
I
feel
think
like...
men and women feel different in what they need to be valued for. Probably.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of cultural expectation built into that, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think men, for sure, I don't know. For me, I know sometimes it's nice to feel like I'm wanted in a
Yeah,
sense.
I think
not wanted,
women
but like
feel an awful
secure,
lot of
like I'm secure in
pressure
them.
for the like physical, like to look good. That's why our wives spend so much money on creams and shit. They need to.
They got this cream.
They need the value of their appearance and their beauty and their self-worth and that. Men, we definitely need to feel that we pull our weight, that we're
Like I'm a
providers
physical.
and-
Like I need the physical, like thing. You know, not like sex or anything, but just touch and
Yeah, you're dirty. Dirty boy.
to be
You're a dirty
felt
boy.
rely on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's good. I think it's a good feeling
like
to like
I-
feel like I'm helping or feel like I'm needed. So when like my kids come to me, like I'm not all my kids' first dad. Obviously, I'm the
Sure.
stepdad in
And
three
to some of them, yeah.
for three of my kids. And
Yeah.
when they actually come to me and need my assistance, I feel really good to be
Yeah.
able to provide to them like help.
Yeah.
And like it makes me feel good. Like they have this trust in me that I can provide for them
Yeah.
in this scenario or something.
Well, to build on that, there's a guy online. He does YouTube videos, like how-to videos, and his whole deal is for young men who don't have dads. He posts videos on like how do you change a spark plug, how do you change the oil in your car, how do you fix your lawnmower, like how do you do these like fairly basic things that usually it takes a dad to show you how to do.
Yeah.
He is like the dad for anybody who doesn't have a dad.
Yeah.
And he ends every video by saying, "Hey, I'm proud of you and keep it up."
Yeah.
And so like his literal thing is he's a dad for anybody that needs a dad on the internet.
You should let me know. We should
And-
try to interview that guy.
Seriously, I mean that guy, it's such a cool idea, and just the way he goes about it, it's like I don't know, it's just such a nice, like a sweet, if you will, thing.
Well, yeah, no, I get it.
But it's like I'm sure he gets a good feeling by helping these guys that have no one to turn to.
Well, I think it's just a good feeling to like to know that you're doing something that's making others feel
Yeah.
maybe feel
Right.
good about themselves or
Yeah.
even just being able to feel accomplished.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I had stepdads here and there and but I never had that father that showed me, this is
Right.
how you do this or this is
Right.
how you do that. But to have someone that you can like, this
Yeah.
guy's showing, how do I change this? You might not know him personally, but you kind of like,
You
it
would
feels
build a
good.
relationship with this person.
But that's something you
Yeah.
can share with your kids when
Right.
you have them or
Right.
whatnot. Like,
and
it's
that's
going to be
how
nice.
you
yeah.
change that cycle.
Yeah.
How you break that link.
Like, I feel like it's going to be nice to be able to show my kids how to change a
Yeah.
tire, how to change oil. Like,
Right.
Sadia, before she moved out, we had to change the brakes on the Mazda, and so she's really into cars, and I was like, well, okay, I'll show you how to do this.
Uh-huh.
It's not. I go, it's not hard to change brakes. I go, I never learned how to. I just YouTube kind of showed me how to do these things.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty much the same. Obviously, as we're doing this, I find out that I need a special tool, and it's funny because during this, I'm like, you don't need no special tools to change this shit, right?
Oh shit! I
And then
need
I'm
a
like,
special
you
tool.
know what? I guess I do.
You know
It was
what?
like
You
some-
save a lot of money that way. Though.
but it was this like weird cube thing, which I still have. But to be able to show her that, like, it was just, it felt good to be able to
Yeah,
do that.
sure.
And I want to do that to like JJ, Elena, Cheeky. I want to be able to show them they don't need to rely on others to do certain
Yeah.
things in their life.
Well, I think especially for girls in the sense of like you don't want to rely on a man
Never.
to know these things and do these things for you. You need to know how to do it just like anybody else.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry if anything goes wrong. You got yourself covered.
Right? Because I think that'll be like if a guy's like, yeah, baby, I got you. She'd be like, nah, man,
Yeah.
motherfucker, I got it
Well, the
already.
problem
I'm
is, like
done.
today, do you think most boys know more than girls do about that shit? Most boys don't know anything.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's just a very different world today. I don't know that people look, even if we are somewhat traditional,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the same as it used to be. I think we expect all of our kids to kind of do certain things.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Maybe not, but
No, you're right, though.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's so much information out there. It's like that.
Yeah, like if I had a teenage girl, I'd be like, you need to go out and mow the lawn, same as I'd be.
I told Elena that the other day.
Like any of my kids mow the lawn, but that's another story.
When I was sick,
when he was dying.
Anyway, the other day when I went to go mow the lawn, just before that, I was like, "Hey, little mama, I'm gonna have you mow the yard tomorrow."
What did she say? Did she freeze up?
Yeah. For a second, I'm just kidding. I got you. Obviously, I don't mind mowing the lawn.
I like it. Blanca wants to do it sometimes. I'm like,
yeah. Oh no, you came over when I was telling you I was gonna mow.
Yeah.
I was not. I told him too. I was like,
thought you were not gonna do it. But.
Yeah. I go. I don't want to do any yard work. And you're like, okay. I even bought me a weed whacker.
Yeah.
A weed whacker. Anyway,
they're great.
This podcast can go on for hours. If
I know.
We let it.
We're gonna let it stop.
An hour and a half. Pretty good.
Wow. Shit. Okay.
Let's go.
It's been great, you guys. Happy
Easter,
mid-August.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Easter, Christmas. Hallelujah.
You know what? Shout out to my my daughter's turning 17.
Yeah.
Shout out Ziana.
Oh, yeah.
She'll
Happy
be 17.
birthday. Thank you to your mom.
Thanks,
she
Mom.
really.
Love you.
I don't think we've really thanked her. I've shit on church a few times. I know she's a churchgoer.
I'll still shit on
Thank
him.
you for your.
I love you though, Mom.
Continued support. You've not been angry with us. Thank you very much.
I think my mom knows. She knows. Like
Yeah.
she. I know my mom's super into church and all that stuff, but she also knows how I am. I guess.
And
in
I
a
don't
sense.
shit on Jesus. Let me just make that very clear.
And I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is we're not ever shitting on like
I'm
the
good with Jesus.
Lord or any of
It's
those
the
guys.
churches.
It's the churches. It's the organization.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
On
That's
that
what
note,
it is.
I'm going to pee my pants if I go much longer. So
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and call it.
Pee
You
those.
guys hang in.
Nothing like a wet pair of drawers.
Whew, it's awful.
All right.
Love you
Later.
guys. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Keep listening, man. Bye.
Blah, 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 blah.